What's going on, guys? Maine here. Um, I wanted to do something a little different today. I had written out a script and everything based on the topic that I wanted to talk about today, but I actually wanted to do away with that and just talk to you straight up from where I'm at right now, the space that I'm in, so to speak. The topic that I actually want to talk about today is consistency, and it's a topic that I'm very at odds with at times. Consistency is a real struggle of mine, especially in the kind of the kind of field that I'm in, and in addition to me being a parent, being a father and a husband. And it's really something that I want to talk about because I think it's important, especially in any field that you're in, but just in general, it's a very important topic to discuss. Again, I also say that, in these sorts of videos, I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys because I want you guys to understand that anything that I'm going through is something that you all go through as well. Because, we're human and we pretty much have similar life experiences, just, and they show themselves in different areas in different ways. And so for me, consistency's been real tough for me lately. I had issues with it before, and I think it's more of a mental thing for me. It's more of, getting myself in a space to where I tell myself that it's possible to do these things. Not saying it's a negative thing, it's a pessimistic point of view, but just more from a mental, I guess you could say, when it comes to mental energy, right? So your enthusiasm, things like that. Sometimes the energy doesn't match the intent that I'm trying to pursue or try to chase after. So it's one thing to tell myself, hey, you have this video to record in 2 days, right? It's one thing to say that, and it's one thing to go ahead and put it out there on a calendar and to write it down, but it's another thing to say, okay, now do it. That makes sense. Sometimes in the back of my mind, I have those things ready. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be mapped out, and this is how I'm going to go about it. And deadline gets passed. And a lot of people can say that it could be many different things. I think for me personally, it's me trying to juggle too much at one time. And what I mean by that is, and I'll give you an example. It's no secret, like I've said before, we have a house of 3, and they're all in different stages of life. And it's all happening every day. So you have a middle schooler who's new to middle school, who's also doing it online. Then you have an elementary schooler who's also doing it online. And then you have a 1-year-old who's 1-year-olding constantly. So we have all these different things happening at one time every day. And then, of course, you factor in the different needs that they all require, being 12, 9, and 1. They require different amounts of attention throughout the day. And so you factor that in with the other things that need to be done, right? As far as maintenance at home, making sure that people eat, people aren't arguing, parental stuff like that the parents, you understand what I mean, or guardians, you get what I'm saying. And then after all that is done, then you have to find time to make time for you, to get your work done, to focus on whether it's work, a hobby, anything. Then you have to find time to devote your time to that. And I think what happens is that sometimes I am all in on the first two, right? When it comes to making sure I am maintaining, the well-being and everything of my children, and then making sure that they don't destroy the place every day. And then, when it comes down to when it's time for me to do what I have to do, I'm drained, mentally and physically. And I think me getting myself into that same space where, okay, if I had enough energy to do this all day, surely I should be able to do this. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And that's the truth. And I have to be honest with myself. However, the flip side of that is that all I need to do to fix it is better manage my time and plan things out in a way that get me to notice and remember and then act, right? So I've been doing that. I would say really, really hard to hold myself accountable and to make sure that I stay on top of my game, because one slip, you could have momentum. And that's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. To get your things done, it's all about momentum. Whether you think about it or not, it's all about momentum. The more you have, the less you're going to be inclined to chase, if that makes sense. At least that's what I've noticed for me. If I have too many checklists, I'm gonna be like, man, hell no, I'm not about to do all that. And so what I have to do is I have to map out certain things. I may even have to go so far as to have one thing that I want to accomplish, and then below that, go into how each step is going to be laid out, so that way I can meet that goal, right? So for me, having more than, I say 5 things is like the sweet spot for me, and it's daily. And because I haven't done that and I wasn't doing that, I was just writing on my board this. What I've noticed is over time you lose momentum. And then let's say, for instance, a life event comes up. Boom, there you go. Now you're off your game again. And now you have to find that momentum again, right? Anything that takes your mind off of that or focus off of that, it affects you. But what I think is important for everybody to know is that this happens to everybody. And it's not always about you falling. It's about how you get up and how you recover. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about recovering. I guess you could say that's the point of this video, is that I'm recovering. I fell off the horse and I got distracted and I got in my head, and now I'm ready to jump back in and be more productive in a way that is both healthy and manageable. That's pretty much it. I didn't want to drag on too long, but I just wanted to let you know that that's where I'm coming from, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'll leave you with this quote that I actually heard, and I want to read it to you because it's simple, but it means a lot to me anyway. And it's from Peggy Noonan, and it goes, "Part of courage is simple consistency." I believe that 100%. Part of courage is simple consistency. You continue to do so and you continue to be consistent. That's all you need. Well, hopefully this helped you guys more than it helped me, actually, because actually talking about it helped me a lot. But you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right. Peace, y'all.